Hi guys, in this video I'm going to talk to you just quickly on how to actually press a guitar string. This is one thing which people take for granted a lot. It's like, especially experienced guitarists, it's like, how do you press a guitar string, you know? Well, to start with, we'll start with how do you press a guitar string with, you know, one finger. Okay, because you know when you're playing lead guitar, you're going to be pressing individual strings with one finger. And also I'm going to talk to you about how to press multiple strings when you're forming chords, alright? And also just a brief explanation as to how to pluck and pick the strings when you're pressing it. Alright, so we'll start with pressing the actual string. See, when you're pressing a string on your guitar, you need to make sure that the string and the neck of the guitar make contact. You need to make sure that when you press it down, you're applying enough pressure that the string is actually touching the wood of the guitar. Because if you don't press hard enough, what you're gonna get is you're gonna get a sound like this. You're not gonna get anything. Alright, so you gotta press it hard enough, and when you press it, you have to press it with the tip of your finger. And this can be quite difficult for beginners because on starting out your fingers are going to be quite soft, but over time what will happen is the tip of your fingers will get harder and it will be much easier to actually press onto the guitar string. So what you want to do is you want to apply pressure onto the string until it touches the wood. It doesn't have to be very, very hard pressure, but it should be enough that you are touching the wood. Alright? So when you do that, you're gonna get a clear sound on your guitar, alright? And when it comes to chords as well, you want to be doing the same thing. Like, let's say for instance I'm playing the C major chord, which is a standard chord. If you have a look at how my fingers are placed, you'll see that my fingers are pressing down onto the strings, so that when I play, I can get a clear tone, right? Whereas if one thing which happens a lot, especially with beginners, is that when they try and form the chords, their fingers end up touching the other strings. And when this happens, if you see this finger, if I'm not pressing the string down dead on and I'm actually touching this string, what's going to happen is this could sound clear, but this string is going to sound blocked. Alright, so this is me blocking the string, this is me pressing correctly, and you're getting the correct tone. So when you're pressing all the strings down correctly, you get a clean tone. Whereas if you are crossing some of the strings while you're pressing, you're going to end up with that block string sound, like this versus this. Or if you're not pressing the strings hard enough, you're not going to get the sound of the chord, and you're just going to get strings playing instead of the C major chord when you're pressing properly. So this is press properly, not pressing properly, intersecting other strings. Alright, so you just have to remember that when you're pressing down, your finger has to try to put your fingertip onto the string and press straight down. And if you look at my wrist, you want it to be so that your wrist is actually either a little bit bent so that you can reach around the guitar, or just relaxed. You know, once you have more experience, you'll be able to play like this, but probably when starting out, you need to turn your wrist a little bit more, just so you can get round the neck to play the strings. You don't want your wrist to be doing that. Some guitarists can and like playing like that, but as a beginner, I recommend you shouldn't. So just keep your wrist relaxed, maybe bent a bit so you can roll your fingers around a bit. If you need to, you can lift the neck higher as you hold the guitar, so that it's just more comfortable for you to reach around instead of having to reach round the neck like that. Okay, so that's a tip for pressing the strings of the guitar and forming the chords. And another thing about picking the strings. So on the guitar you have 6 strings, and what you will do is for the top 3 strings, which are the 4th, 5th and 6th string, you will pluck them with your thumb. And what you're doing essentially is you're not trying to put your finger around the string and do that. What you're doing is you're just putting it along the front of the string, and you're just sliding over. Okay, so you're sliding off one, landing and resting on the other, sliding off the next. Okay, and with the other strings you're doing essentially the same thing. Your 1, 2, 3 fingers, with your ring finger resting on the 1st string, your middle finger on the 2nd string, and your index finger on the 3rd string. You're just resting it on the top of your strings like that. You're not wrapping them around the string. You're not trying to grip the string and pull it upwards. Okay, what you're trying to do is you're trying to bring your finger across the string, like down and across, down and across, not up and out. Okay, down and across. So easiest way to practice is just practice with your index finger. Just practice doing that. And if I turn the guitar sideways, this might be easier to see. What you're doing is your fingers here, and what you're doing is you're just pressing down, sliding across. So practice doing that, and up here you practice sliding down. And that's how you would pluck the strings with your fingers. And once you're comfortable with using just the one finger, you can start practicing with the rest of your fingers. Okay, so that's basically an introduction to finger placement and also plucking the strings on guitar. If anything is not clear in this video, please feel free to leave a comment or to ask a question on the post, and I'll try to improve this tutorial so that gives you a better explanation of how you're actually supposed to press the string and pluck it. Alright, so thanks for watching and hope to hear from you soon.